Oh, folks. Let's get ready to rumble. Colombia's president has foolishly decided to play chicken with the United States and President Trump, and his brinkmanship has gone poorly. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I talking about? Chicken? Well, that's when people get out there and drive two cars towards each other head on, and at the last second, one pulls away. Well, we're playing chicken here. Colombia's president says he will not accept U.S. military deportation flights. Gustavo Petro said on Twitter that the United States should not treat Colombian migrants as criminals and that he had already turned away U.S. military flights carrying deportees. Wrong answer, Gustavo. He said, I cannot make migrants stay in a country that does not want them. But if that country sends them back, it should be with dignity and respect for them and our country. Now, is that an admission, folks? Don't want to live in Colombia, Gustavo? Is that what you're admitting? Dignity and respect. They're being flown back at great expense to us Americans, taxpayers, not waiting across the Rio Grande, smuggled into our cities in the back of freight trucks. Now, the problem, of course, is that we're not talking about migrants, folks. The people in question are criminal alien invaders who violated our sovereignty. Petro's a fool. Among other things, Petro said he would be willing to allow civilian planes carrying deportees to land in Colombia, but not military aircraft. A migrant is not a criminal, he said on Twitter. No. A migrant is not a criminal. A migrant is someone who moves around inside a country where they have legal status, like fleeing California for Florida. People who travel thousands of miles through Central America, through Mexico, to illegally cross our borders are not migrants, and they're also not immigrants. They're criminal alien invaders. Now, according to the Pew Research Center, there were 190,000 Colombian criminal alien invaders living in the U.S. in 2022, which is the most recent year statistics are available for. Unfortunately for Gustavo, moments ago, President Trump has struck back.
Cause there's a party over here, so you might as well be here with the people care. Don't hold back.
And I quote from his Truth Social post, I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States, so I have directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. Let's get ready to rumble. Here you go, folks.
World, the time has come to.
These are the sanctions now imposed on Colombia because of their unwillingness to take their own citizens back. An emergency 25% tariff on all goods coming into the United States, which isn't much, because we don't tax the cocaine coming in from there. In 1 week, the 25% tariffs will be raised to 50%. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations for all Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters of those clowns. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections for all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds. IEEPA, Treasury, banking, financial sanctions to be fully imposed. And Trump said these measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of criminals they forced into the United States. Well, maybe they didn't force them in the United States, but the bottom line is that they're Colombian nationals, and that's where they must return to. So, do you still want to play chicken, Gustavo? World, are you listening? It's time to galvanize. America has had enough of this garbage and refuse. These aren't immigrants. These aren't migrants. Migrants move around inside a country. Immigrants show up at your border and show you genuine documentation and legitimate basis for entering your country. They don't slip across the border in the dark of night and then steal from you, your sovereignty being the first target. It's time to galvanize.
Galvanize. Come on, come on, come on.